deep inside. Don't get bitter, just get better. Got my family by my side. Don't get bitter, just get better. Talking with Tammy's the vibe. Don't get bitter, just get better. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. Feel the feeling deep inside. Don't get bitter, just get better. Got my family by my side. Don't get bitter, just get better.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Talking with Tammy show. As always, I get so excited when it's time for me to come out and share this time with you all. I don't take anything for granted, and so I always have to give a shout out to those of you who are sincerely supporting my show, to those who are reaching out with your encouraging words, to those who post feedback to help me get better, and to those who are calling, asking to be a guest on the Talking with Tammy show. It's such a sensational and heartfelt feeling to me that I just want to say thank you. Thank you to all of you who are making this journey so much more pleasant. So again, welcome to the Talking with Tammy show. Now listen, as you all already probably know, I am a huge proponent of entrepreneurship, self-employment, and business ownership. Yes, I am. So a lot of my shows will be about business owners who have taken the leap to go into business for themselves, especially the young entrepreneurs. So sit back, get your favorite drink, prop up your legs, and just take this trip with us today as I introduce to some and present to others two young entrepreneurs. Now, these young men, look at them now, y'all check them out. And they're in compliance. They have on their masks. I had on mine, my Talking with Tammy mask, prior to starting to talk. But they have their mask on because we want to be safe and we want you to be safe. But at this time, I'm going to ask them to remove the mask so they can show you all how handsome they are before I introduce them to you. Gentlemen, will you remove your mask, please? Look at them now, look at them. These are the owners of Brown and Bussey's funeral service located in the great city of Pahokee, Florida. They used to say the home of this person, the home of that person, but pretty soon they're going to be saying the home of Brown and Bussey's funeral services. Well, the owners are Mr. Joshua Brown and Mr. Shaquille Bussey. Welcome to the show, gentlemen, and I thank you all for taking my offer to come onto the show. So now first, before we start, I want to give them a little time to tell us a little bit about themselves, okay? And so Josh, you go first. Would you share with the audience on the Talking with Tammy show a little bit about you?
Well, my name is Joshua Brown, and I am born and raised in the city of Pahokee, Florida. I've been there all of my life. I attended Catherine E. Cunningham Connecticut Elementary School, and then later Pahokee Middle Senior High School. There I was a very active young man. I was in the Pahokee High School marching band. I also was a part of our track team, and later I began to get into the student services program. And I'm a homegrown young man from the city of Pahokee, Florida, and also I'm having a group, the Zion Sons of Pahokee, Florida, and I'm very active in our church and our community events, and pretty much I am the father of a daughter, and so that's pretty much it about me. And
okay, all right, and so you got the basic information introduction from CEO Joshua Brown. And so now we're going to go to the co-CEO, Mr. Shaquille Bussey. Will you tell us a little bit about you, please, Shaquille?
I'm Shaquille Bussey, the youngest child of Miss Tammy Bussey right here. I got into the business of the funeral home through my cousin. My cousin has actually been doing this a long time, and he just reached out and asked if I wanted to be a part of this, and I said yeah. And he's right now I'm still learning how to do the business and things like that. it's turning out well. So I'm just trying to grow and continue the business.
All right, okay. So, as you just heard, Shaquille Bussey is the youngest of my sons. And what Joshua forgot to mention, he's my nephew, so I'm his aunt. And he didn't mention that part, so I'm not going to be sensitive today because I know he didn't mean anything by it. So, Joshua Brown and Shaquille Bussey, again, I want to welcome you all to the show in all seriousness because I know you all have a huge responsibility that you're handling, and I just want to thank you for taking the time to come on the show. And before we go any further, we're going to take a real quick break, and we'll be back to hear from our sponsors as soon as we return. Okay, welcome back to the Talking with Tammy show. We thank you for staying there and waiting on us after the break. We want to thank our sponsors for supporting this show. So now we're going to move forward to learn more about the owners of Brown and Bussey Funeral Services. So Josh, you go first again. Tell me how Brown and Bussey Funeral Home came about.
Well, Brown and Bussey Funeral Services came about. I've been in the funeral service industry for now 16 years, and 14 of those years I was associated with a funeral services in Belgrade, Florida, known as the Taylor Smith and West Funeral Home, and under the direction of then the licensed funeral director, Mr. James R. West. He was our trainer. He was the funeral director. He was a master at everything that he did, and so that's pretty much where it all began. The passion for the funeral industry. And Brown and Bussey later came about along with the passing of my stepfather. And so, pretty much I kind of gathered then that I wanted to fly and, do things on my own. And so that's also then when I reached out to my cousin, Shaquille Bussey, and I put the plan in his hand, and we all came together and we made it happen.
Wow. And just to take a brief detour from, what you're just saying, is just to see our young black men coming together, anybody, but in this instance, two young black men coming together to become business owners, to go out and do something to serve their community that will give them the opportunity to say, hey, this is what I've done, versus sitting back and waiting on someone else to tell me what my worth is. I left out to go and do my own finding of my worth. So Joshua, I think that was a very, very good idea. For what I'm hearing, you're doing very well in the community. And so my next question is for Shaquille. Shaquille, having no prior experience in hearing where your cousin Joshua reached out to you, no prior experience in the funeral service business, how did you get involved again, and what made you say yes?
I got involved, like I said before, my cousin reached out, and knowing that he's been in the business so long, I knew that it wouldn't be tough to learn because I've been to certain services and seen him work when I was younger, and I understood that he's serious and he really knows how to work this business. So that's what played a big role in me saying yes, because I knew it wouldn't be tough to learn, and I knew this would be a good business to get into. So I want to say I appreciate you for that, cause
Awesome. That's exactly right. And I want to say this as well. I heard you, Joshua, mention Mr. West's name, and that's where you have to remember where you come from. So often people they learn things, or they earn things, or they gain things, and they forget to give that appreciation, that recognition to the person who taught you what you knew. And I really appreciate you talking about Mr. West showing you, training you how to do the job, because look at you now. And then even Shaquille, college student in a business with his cousin who knows the ropes, but he's teaching his cousin, and Shaquille even saying, I want to thank my cousin, I want to appreciate him for asking me of all people, because I'm sure he could have asked anybody. But he asked his cousin to come into this business with him, and Shaquille, just as Josh did, shows appreciation to those who didn't forget about them and who showed them the way. So I thank you so much for those comments. Josh, your next question for you. When did you open? How long have you been open? And why did you decide to open your own funeral service? So when did you open and what made you decide to do it?
Well, we opened in November, our first official day, according to the state of Florida Funeral and Consumers Board. Our very first day open was November the 2nd, 2018. And we've been doing great since then. And the thing that drove me to open my own business was because I honestly, I just got a little bit tired of, toiling with others, And it's good, it's good as long as it works. And like I said, I don't regret where I come from. But we all have a goal in life to be better and to have it on our own. My thing is, if we're going to do it, let's go all out, So that was really one of my concepts about it. If I'm going to do it, I've been doing it for someone else for 14 years, and it's really my passion to do it. Why not do it for myself? So.
Absolutely, and that's what they say. When you know better, you do better. And then if you're going to go out and help someone else build their dream, why not build your own dream? And so I admire you for that. Just looking back over the years when you were a young kid coming up, seeing you work, I just knew that one day you would be where you are. And, if you continue to put God first, as I know that you do, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. And so with that answer from you, the next question is for Shaquille. Shaquille, in addition to being a college student, you're the co-owner of Brown & Bussey's Funeral Services. So how do you manage that?
It's definitely tough, but at the beginning I wasn't really so much involved with the paperwork and those things, sorts of those things, but because it was so time consuming, school was so time consuming, it would be tough to try to balance the two. But after a while, getting used to it, it just took some time to getting used to trying to balance the two. So now I'm getting better at it now, but it's still a process. So right now it's still not even that easy, but I'm working on it.
Yes, he definitely is, because the one thing that his parents tell him, and we love the fact that he's a business owner with his cousin, but we tell him, get that college degree. And so school is important, but we definitely are so happy that he's in business with his cousin. And so back to Josh. Josh, what's your main purpose for your funeral service? What's your main purpose?
My main purpose, honestly, I know that it's a business, but honestly, my main purpose is to make sure my purpose, for even doing it all. Of course, it was for myself, my cousin as well, but it was for my community. My community means a whole lot to me. Sometimes, the community don't have that same response to you, but, from the very beginning, it's always remained the same. Our motto for Brown & Bussey Funeral Services is that it's all about the front row. And my purpose for doing it is so that our people can have affordable but nice funeral services to send their loved one off, for the last time, because we do know that funeral services can get costly. And so my purpose for doing it is so that I can make sure that I accommodate not just the city of Pahokee, but accommodate anyone that, may entrust the care of their loved one, to our firm. And so that's pretty much was, the main goal is to make sure that we have an accommodatable funeral service for individual when their loved one goes home.
Awesome. And that's important, to put, the family first, and to be fair and, and concerned and compassionate. So with that, we're going to take another break. We ask you to stay tuned. Don't go away, because we'll be right back as soon as we take this short break. Thank you. Welcome back to the Talk of the Tammy show, where our special guests today are the owners of Brown & Bussey's Funeral Service, Mr. Joshua Brown and Mr. Shaquille Bussey. And so we want to again thank them for coming on the show. We want to thank you all for viewing this show, because we're definitely trying to get positive information and to recognize positive things that are being done in the community. And so now my next question is for Shaquille. Shaquille, what's your main purpose for being in the funeral business? What's your responsibilities?
The main purpose is, just to serve the families the best way possible. We want the families to always be satisfied from the top to the bottom, from the service to, the presentation of the body, and, we just want the family to be satisfied. So that's really the main purpose. And I would also say, like, trying to expand as a business and to grow as businessmen, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right, then. So you're looking at make sure that the family's satisfied, and that's the first thing. Because I think you all have a motto. And as I go into that question, you all have a motto, and I read it sometimes, and I like it. And Josh, what's your motto about? What's your motto about Brown and Bussey Funeral Services?
It's all about the front row.
It's all about the front row. It's all about the front row. So we want everybody to hear them say it's all about the front row. And so now, Joshua, any future plans for expansion? Anything that what's your plans for expansion?
Well, I have a couple of things in the basket.
Okay.
When it comes to expansion. We look to have more than one location, because we want to be a service to everywhere. Anytime anybody calls us, we want to make sure that we're available. And just because we're in Pahokee, that doesn't mean anything. We travel near or far. There's no weather too bad. We'll come wherever you are. And as far as with the expansion, like I said, we're looking to have more than one location so that we can make ourselves available and that we can be a convenience store. Because one thing that I do realize with dealing with our people today, a lot of us move off convenience. And so, we want to make sure that we're convenient, and we want to make sure that we're there for you anytime you call, morning, noon, and night. We want to make sure that we're able to serve and give you the best professionalism that we can.
Awesome. And in the time of needs that the families are going through, sometimes they may not always, be at their best and their most clear time during this bereavement time. And so that's where you, Shaquille, and your staff come in to make sure that you're listening to the family. Am I correct?
Right.
Listening and following their orders. Because so often people sometimes tend to think that it's about them, but you have to make sure that that first family, that those close relatives are taken care of and serious. Am I correct in saying that? Okay. And so what I want to do now is just ask you all to just share anything that you want the public to know about you as a person, as a business owner, as a servant to the community. Anything you want to put out there. I understand I was looking on social media and I noticed that you all have several services this weekend coming up. So I know that you had to take out some time to even come here today to record the show with me. So I want to just thank you all for doing that. But is there anything that you want to put out there, either one of you, to the community about Brown and Bussey Funeral Services, LLC?
Well, I want to put this out there. I want to let you guys know that Brown and Bussey Funeral Service, we're capable to do whatever it is that you need us to do when it comes to the funeral establishment. Also, even in the trying times that we're dealing with, even though a lot of people are getting vaccinated and all of that different stuff, we're still able to accommodate. Even in the pandemic, we're able to accommodate to do whatever it is that you need us to do, even when it comes to staying in compliant, with the CDC orders. Also, I want to let you know that no matter where you are, Brown and Bussey Funeral Services, we're available to and for you. Also, we are glad to have on our team our licensed funeral director, Mrs. Sandra Brown, and also our office administrator, Mrs. Alicia Holmes. And so we say to you guys, be ready. You never know when the time shall come. And so, it's our job to make sure that our people are ready. And, that's a part of the program that we're actually about to start soon, which is our funeral readiness program, just to give enlightenment to the community and to the general public about funeral services, because a lot of us, we say that we have time, we think that we have a lot of time to get our business in order, but just to be quite honest with you, we really don't, because we're actually living on borrowed time. And so just recently, I know that these families don't mind me saying this, but we've buried at least about 7 to 8 individuals younger than me, and I'm 31. And so we think that we have a lot of time, but in reality, we really don't. So if you don't have insurance, it behooves you to do it. If some source of, some way to be able to take care of a funeral service if something just happens to happen. And so, we're, like I said, we are in lieu of, coming up with this program, funeral readiness, so that, people will be able to come out to the facility. We have some different seminars with our different insurance agents, cemetery agents, just to kind of sort of do something for the community and let the community know that we're not only just concerned about you, when someone passes away, but we're concerned about you, whether or not, we're your choice, we're still concerned, because wherever you go, you still have to pay anyway. And so we just wanted to let you guys know that. Like I said, there's no distance too far, no weather too bad. We'll work in the storm, the rain, sleet, snow. That's our job. And like I said, we're here for you. And if you ever need us, you can reach us at 561-285-9078. Or you can stop by the funeral home. We're located in the city of Hogan, Florida at 185 South Barfield Highway. And anytime you need us, we are available. Just pick up the phone. We're just a phone call away.
I can hear the sincerity and the passion in your voice. And that's why I feel like, you are definitely going to be successful in this business. Not about hoping that anyone leaves us, but just to know that you care, just that you're looking to do webinars for the community to give them that information, because it is important. People need to prepare in advance, not at the last minute. So that's just awesome that your organization, your funeral home, will be helping out the community in other ways as opposed to just serving at the time of death. And so I just think that what you and Shaquille and your staff and your field director, Ms. Sandra Brown, what you all are doing is absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And again, I just want to thank you all for coming on the show today. I know that you had to squeeze in this time as you prepare to serve 3 families this weekend. I appreciate you all for keeping the commitment to be guests, because I know that you should be over at the facility taking care of business, but you're here, and I appreciate you and I thank you for it. I also want to reiterate how proud I am of you all. Your dedication to the bereaved families and your love for your community. It shows. I mean, you all could be doing something else. You could be working for someone else, but you saw the need to serve your community and to put the front row first. And so I just want to say, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. Shaquille, keep up the good work. I know, like you said, it's a juggle being a college student and a business owner and trying to work from afar with Joshua on the administrative part. Joshua, I know that it's a lot of work, the day-to-day things that you have to do, managing the business every day, and you and Shaq having to communicate from a distance, but you're making it happen. And I know too, because the way that you all are raised and just my conversation with these young men, that you put God first, that you ask Him to guide your steps, because I've spoken to you all about that. And so I'm just so proud of you all, so proud of the service that you all are giving, and I just pray for you all to continue your compassion about this business. So to my son, Shaquille Bussey, keep up the good work.
Yes, ma'am.
To my nephew, Joshua Brown, keep up the good work. And again, thank you all for agreeing to be guests on the Talking with Tammy show. And with that, we're going to take another short break, and we'll be back after this commercial. Okay, welcome back to the the Talking with Tammy show. And again, I want to thank my guests, Joshua Brown and Shaquille Bussey from the Brown and Bussey Funeral Services for being on the show today. And to all the viewers, thank you. Thank you so much. Because this show is designed to bring positive things going on in the neighborhood to the forefront. I'm tired of the negative things having the front row. I'm tired of neighbors killing neighbors. I'm tired of children killing children. I'm tired of the dirty politics. Tired of parents burying their children instead of their children burying them after they reach old age. I'm tired of selfishness, bitterness, hopelessness, and foolishness. Just tired of it. And so this show is to bring some type of light, some type of positivity to the community, that we can laugh, that we can, celebrate the success of others. So often people have a tendency to think that it's about them, even when it's not about them. And we just need to change that and start being more giving and more understanding and less self-inclined to think everything is about us. So let's all step up and use our talent to better serve the community. The financial service business that I'm in is designed to teach people how to live well now. But you know what? And not die broke. But people don't listen. Most people don't listen. They need the information, but they don't listen. You heard my guest say earlier that when we pass away, there is a cost for it. But a lot of people won't take advantage of it in advance. And so the Brown and Bussey Funeral Service, we're doing something about that to help the community. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if people don't listen to you right away. Never give up. Never give up. The Talking with Tammy show will be announcing an upcoming community event. Something that will give back to the community. Something that will give information to the community. And guess what? Yeah, I know. We got to feed you. So we're going to have some food too. But we're going to have a community event that's going to have food, free food. You don't have to pay. It's going to be free food, free information real soon. And we're hoping that it's going to be a success. Because we have to do what we can do. From much is given, much is required. And so don't sit back and get your blessing and don't be a blessing to others. So again, I want to just thank the young CEOs of Brown and Bussey Funeral Services for being on the show today. And if you would like to be a guest on this show, just email me or call me. The number and the information is scrolling across the bottom of the screen, so you can reach out to me if you're interested in being a guest on the show. And as I close, I have to always remind you that regardless of how nasty the text, the email, or the letter, don't get bitter, get better. So until next time, I'll see you. Be safe, and I hope you return to the Talking with Tammy show. I'm out. Have a great one.